Is going to be about the base of your face. I do have how-tos posted on my Instagram that are pretty extensive, I think, but I'm just gonna go more in depth about different techniques in this video and more about your skin type and maybe how to find your skin type. I have a bunch of notes that I want to cover, so there is gonna probably be parts to this. I'm gonna try to make it one video though, just because I want this one to be like the spicy one. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into different skin types. Okay, so different skin types. There are, from what I can tell, I'm not an expert in no way, shape, or form. I am not an esthetician. I'm not a dermatologist. These are just things that I have researched, that I have found, that I have tried on different people, that I've noticed in different people. I've done lots of people's makeup already, just within my family, my friends, people I've known. Besides the point. So the different types of skin types that I have seen has been oily, dry, combination, acne prone, sensitive, and aging. So 6 total. Okay. So let me go, and I have like this little chart that I made to kind of break it down. And the way that I like to tell which one you are is if you go to bed, you wake up in the morning and you feel your face and different parts of your face, and you're gonna see how your skin feels, like how slick it feels, how dry it feels, how irritated it feels, how normal it feels. Oh, and normal's another skin type, you lucky bitches. Okay, so if you wake up in the morning and your face, like everywhere, your forehead, your chin, your nose, your cheeks, if that everywhere for you is slick, oily, greasy, obviously oily skin type. Okay, if you wake up in the morning and there's big parts of your face, like, or a lot of areas on your face that are kind of dry or tight, your skin feels really tight in some places, maybe some irritable, like dry, flaky areas, then you have a dry skin type. And if you have the pleasure of having both of those, which I do, you have combination skin. So for me personally, my cheeks tend to be drier and my T-zone area is oily. It could be the opposite for other people. It could be any type of range from other people. Like, I don't know, I've met people that their cheeks are super oily and their forehead's really oily, but right here is really dry. So it just depends. In combination, you can have thank you, Phoebe. With a combination, you can have any range of those skin types or a mixture of those skin types. Sensitive skin is just if you can't really find products that work well with your skin, if you are very sensitive to skincare products or things that are put in your face, by your face, near your face. My mom has sensitive skin and she cannot she can't touch certain perfumes, she can't smell certain things can't touch her. She hates when people touch her face because she just easily breaks out. She has very irritable skin. So if you have that skin type where you just wake up and like, it's not necessarily dry, but it's more on the tight, irritable side where like if you touch something, you eat something, you're near something, any type of perfume or smell or whatever, and you have breakouts from it, or you put a new product on your skin and you're just like, oh my god, like I broke out from it, and you have sensitive skin. And acne prone skin, it's just exactly what it sounds like. You're just prone to acne. Different products can cause acne flare-ups. Touching your face can cause acne flare-ups. Just certain types of foods can cause acne flare-ups. So those two might sound the same, sensitive skin and acne prone skin. Just think of sensitive skin as like the drier side, and acne prone is more like the oily side, if that makes sense. And then obviously aging is just when you hit a certain age. Usually it's from like 25, 30s when your skin starts to dramatically age. I'm 25, so I'm hitting that. So usually this is like the time that a lot of times the dermatologists or estheticians or skincare, whatever, they really want us to start incorporating retinol into our skincare because it is a skin cell turnover product. So, and then if you're normal, how does it feel to be God's favorite? Like, you don't really have any issues. Like, you're fine. Like, your skin is glowing. Your skin is perfect. So congratulations on your perfect skin. All right, so those are the six, 7 skincare or skin types. And so I want to put an emphasis on that because depending on what your skin type is what you're going to do to prep your skin, because before you put on any type of makeup, it is so important to prep your skin. I have acne right now. These are all healing scars. There's no whiteheads, thank the Lord. I do have hormonal skin right now because I'm in my 20s, so 20s, if you're not in them, watch out, because hormonal acne is a thing. It comes back with a vengeance. But how you prep your skin is so important. So I already have my skincare on. I have my sunscreen, my moisturizer, some skincare products you want to layer onto your skin. The whole point of having a good skincare routine is to make sure that your skin is healthy, it is glowy, it is moisturized, it is hydrated. So if you don't have that, your makeup's gonna look, it's gonna stick to places, it's gonna flake off, it's going to look cakey. So you want to make sure that you have a really good base before you put any makeup on. So let's go ahead and talk about what you want to put on your face before you put on your actual makeup. Okay, so I have some products on here. You don't have to get the exact same ones that I have, just something along those lines, and I'll tell you what to look for. But obviously you want a fresh face. You want a clean face, just a gentle cleanser. You don't need any type of special serum or anything. Excuse me. And then what I like to do, I've gotten these tips from different TikTokers, from different influencers, from people that I watch do makeup. Like I said, it's just about hydrating your skin and having moisturized skin, because if your skin is hydrated and moisturized, it's going to look plump, it's going to look dewy, it's going to look cute. Things are going to sit on top of it well, instead of soaking up all of that product that you're putting on your face because your skin is thirsty. So in order to prevent that, you want to take care of it. So you start with the hyaluronic acid. I don't know how to say this, glutamic acid. This is like hyaluronic acid's big sister, okay? So I put that on my face. It's already on it. I'm not gonna do it right now. And then you want to get a gel moisturizer. You don't want anything heavy. You don't want like a rich nighttime moisturizer on your face, because that's just too much. You just want something lightweight. I use the Daily Greens Pharmacy one. You don't have to use this one. Like I said, as long as it's light, watery, seeps into the skin, hydrates the skin, and then you want to top it off with a sunscreen. I use this one by Murad. So that is what I have on my face. So that's your skincare prep. Once you have that, you just want to make sure everything is patted in, nothing is too wet. And then after that, you can actually go in with a primer. Now let's talk about primers. Okay, so once you have everything chosen out, I like to set my face. So I will sit here and literally spray setting spray on my skincare because I am set. I'm setting my skincare in, I'm sealing the deal, and I want it to look its best. So I'll go in there with a setting spray. This one is by Tarte. This is from my BoxyCharm. I've never tried it before. It's all right. I actually like the Pretty Fresh one from ColourPop. It has hyaluronic acid in it, so I mean, there's you could skip your hyaluronic acid, up to you. But anyways, primers, you have to choose one that works for your skin type. So if you know that you have dry skin, you know you're gonna want a more rich moisturizing primer, something probably pore mattifying, blurring. So something like the Professional Benefit one, that blue bottle, that like the ones that have like silicone and like dimethicone in it, that like kind of like make your skin look flawless. Those work great for dry skin tones or aging skin tones. For oily skin or combination skin, I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hate that primer. I think, but that's because it's my skin tone. I like gripping primers. This one is the All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer. They came out with a new one, and this is it, and it's amazing. Another good one is the Milk Hydro Primer. I've heard Elf Jelly Pop is really good. I haven't tried it. But just something that is like tacky and sticky. The Too Faced Hangover Cure, that one was my favorite for so long before I tried this one. But if you want like a really just good rule of thumb to follow, just get something that is hydrating. A water-based primer is always a good go-to, just because it works well for every skin type. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put in our primer. I just put in like 1 or 2 pumps. I'm just gonna rub this baby all over like this. I'm trying not to touch my eyebrows. They're crooked right now, but we'll fix them later. But I like to really focus. Oh, something I forgot to mention with your face prep, make sure you put on, if you don't have eye cream, just make sure you focus your moisturizer underneath your eyes. It really helps prevent the creasing of your under eye. I don't buy eye cream. If I have eye cream from like BoxyCharm or something, I'll use it. I'm not a waster, but I don't go out and buy eye cream itself. I think my moisturizers do a good enough job. Okay, so now that my face is nice and sticky, we can go ahead and start talking about foundation itself. Okay. I don't know why I keep doing that lame transition. I'll just like not do that. My dog's chasing my cat. Okay, so foundation. There is formula to talk about, there is coverage to talk about, and there is finish to talk about. When it comes to formulas, there's 3 basic types. There's stick foundation, there is liquid foundation, and there is powder foundation. Again, depending on your skin type, it's just something that you're gonna have to choose. Makeup is just trial and error. There are no rules to makeup, there are only guidelines to makeup. So I could tell you something like, oh, don't get a gripping primer because you have dry skin. You should get, you know, a silicone primer or something. But then you go out and you hate it. You end up liking it, you know? It just depends what you want. It's your preference. I'm just here to tell you things that I have seen that have worked for me and for people I have done their makeup, and yeah. So stick foundation is supposed to be a lot more coverage. I personally have not liked any of the stick foundations that I have tried. I have tried the Anastasia one, and I have tried, I don't remember the other one that I tried, but I got it in a trial. I don't remember the name of it. It was like some brand I've never heard of from BoxyCharm, and I didn't like it. Liquid foundations are things like Born This Way or Fenty Beauty or, you know, the It Cosmetics, the CC cream ones. Those like creamy liquidy ones that come out in a little pump or a little squirt bottle thing. Those are liquid foundations. Those are, they can be full coverage. They can be sheer coverage. It just depends on the company and what they use. So it's just up to you how much coverage that you want. And then powder foundation is rarely used now for like an actual full face of makeup. It's usually used to set your face now. So it's just up to you. If you feel like you don't have any imperfections and you're good with your skin, you could probably get away with the powder foundation. Okay, so as far as coverage, what I mean by full is that when you put it on, you cannot see anything. Like you feel kind of like, ooh, like on your face. So it's meant to cover up any imperfections, all your lines, all your pores, all your blemishes, everything, including discoloration. Light to full or light medium or whatever, that middle ground one is supposed to be something in between, exactly what it sounds like. And it can, a lot of times companies will do buildable foundation, so you could be on your days that you don't really feel like wearing a lot of makeup, you could do a more sheer, just one coat, excuse me, one coat of foundation, or you could go like 3, 4, whatever, until you get the finish that you want or the coverage that you want for that foundation. And then sheer obviously is just, there's not a lot of coverage, you don't really need a lot of coverage, so it's very lightweight. And then as far as finishing or finishes of foundation, there is a matte finish, a dewy finish, and then kind of like a velvety soft matte type thing that's newer in the years that I've been doing makeup, which, you know, hasn't been that long, but it's been long enough where like I can do things like this. So a matte foundation is gonna just, there's literally no shine to your face. You look like a plastic doll. There is nothing oily, shiny, highlighty about you. If you look at my face right now, like this is like naturally like my face. So there's like a little bit of dewiness, there's a little bit of glow when I move my face around. Matte foundations, well, you will not have that. It will just be one color, no sheen, no nothing. Dewy foundations will be like this. They will, you know, it'll look kind of skin-like. You'll be able to see, you know, some glow, some shine, and that's okay. Some people like that wet, dewy look. Velvety, powdery finishes is a cross between the two. So it could be something, I don't ever know how to describe it, but I'm going to be doing that finish with you guys today, so you guys will see it. But Fenty is known for it, and if you don't have her foundation or have ever tried it, go to Sephora and get a sample because it's freaking amazing. Like, one of my favorite foundations. Okay, so now that is all over and done with, like I said, you choose whatever you want. If you feel like you want to be a full glam queen, you go for that matte foundation, liquid, whatever, full coverage, whatever. If you feel like, no, I'm a cute little baby and I don't really need any of that, then don't do it. It's just up to you, whatever you like. If you end up doing your makeup, you know, and as long as you like it, you're good. Okay? Okay. All right, now as far as application, there is brush, sponge, hands. I never dare to use my hands because I'm a child and I cannot be trusted. So I usually use a brush or a sponge, or sometimes I'll mix the two. I'm gonna be mixing the two today just so you guys can see kind of the difference. So let me go wet my beauty sponge and I will be right back. Haha! Hopefully that was, I hope that works. Okay, so there is talk about one or the other having more coverage than, you know, the other one, but honestly what I find is layering is what's gonna get like the most coverage. But just in regards to just one full layer, you're gonna want a brush if you want full coverage. You're gonna want a sponge if you don't want that much coverage. But like I said, the more layers you do or the more pumps you do or whatever, you're gonna have more coverage that way, so you can work it up as long as your foundation is buildable. And what I mean by if it's buildable, there are some foundations out there that I have tried. The Wet n Wild photo whatever one, I don't know, everybody likes it so much. For me, it does not work at all. I've tried building it up and it just, like, you could just see like the breaks. Like sometimes if you don't prep your face right and if you don't wear the right primer, it'll actually, like, I don't want to say eat away at your foundation, but it'll look like that. It'll start to like rub off and like you'll see like your foundation like breaking through. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I use the shade Swan. I don't know if it'll focus. It says Swan, I promise. But I usually, if I'm feeling lazy, I'll just put on a sponge and like blah, 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 all over the place. But I'm gonna try to show you guys the difference in a brush on one side and the difference in a sponge on the other side. And then I'll just go ahead and finish everything off. So I'll usually put like 2 pumps just to cover my whole face, so I should not have done that. But so this is like the coverage on a brush. So you'll see all of these little babies go away. And then on a foundation brush, you're actually supposed to use like a stippling motion. For the longest time, I didn't know that. And so I would just have like all these streaks on my face. So that's why I started using sponges, because I just didn't know how to use my brushes. But once I found it out, I was like, oh, okay. And you know, now it actually is pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that for now. And on the other side, I'll go ahead and use the sponge. Something else I wanted to talk about in regards to foundation is matching your shade, or getting a shade match. Because sometimes I have gone to Sephora, I have gone to Ulta and asked for a shade match, and I go home and yeah, it's not my color. And I'm like, okay, way to do me dirty. Okay, but this is just really quick what it looks like with the brush. You can see it's kind of just like bam, like it is just like, it is there. You can't really see anything through it. Now if I were to do the same thing to the other side, I have to put this in my mouth so you guys can see. And I'm just like, I'm not ready for it. The same thing with the sponge. The sponge is just gonna, whole point of a sponge is to take the product and spread it out as evenly as possible, so it will soak up some of the product, and every time you push down, it disperses product onto whatever portion of your skin you're putting it through. So it will not be as full coverage as the brush, and you'll see that. Now that I look like a crazy person, I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. But as I'm fixing it, I will tell you guys about shade matching. So when I go to the store, I used to just go into the store and match to my neck. I would just swipe it right here because that's where I blend it to. You're supposed to blend to your neck, right? Right. But when I did that a few weeks ago, I went in to Ulta. Well, I don't know how long ago it was ago. But whatever. They have all the things covered up right now because of Corona. And call me dirty or get mad at me, whatever. I needed to find a new shade because I have been in quarantine for months and months now, like many of us have. And so I am pale. I am white. I have like no color to me at the moment. I used to have this exact same foundation, but I was shade vanilla, which is like literally 6 shades from what this is. And I thought, you know, like, okay, whatever. So I went into Ulta. Sorry, I'm getting off track. And I matched to my neck. And the way that you're supposed to tell if your foundation matches is if you can see the color, that it's not your color. You're supposed to put it on your skin, and it's supposed to look invisible because it's supposed to match you, so you're not supposed to be able to see it. And so I did that, and I had gotten only like a few shades down. I forgot the color that it was. But when I got home, I put it on. It was a completely different undertone than what I was. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I did wrong. So I kept going back. I went like 3 times before I actually found my shade. And it was just because I wasn't paying attention to my undertone. So undertones are important, guys. The way that you can tell your undertone, there's this like test that you can do for jewelry, or if you look good in silver jewelry, you are a cool undertone. If you look good in gold jewelry, you were supposed to be a warm undertone. But honestly, I don't really wear that much jewelry, so that wasn't very helpful when I first started. And then you could be conceited and be like, oh, I think I look good in both, which technically would mean you're a neutral undertone because you can do both undertones. But, you know, not everybody can tell that. I couldn't tell that. I was like, what? I don't even know what that means. What do you mean? It's supposed to complement your skin better, one or the other, right? So what I do now is I look at my veins. And so the color of your veins is supposed to tell. You're supposed to be able to see what your undertone is based on your veins. Wasn't even recording. So if you look at your veins, you can tell, most people can tell what they have. If they are blue or purple looking, then you are a cool toned queen. If they are greenish, like a tealish green color, then you are a warm toned queen. If you cannot tell, I cannot tell. Sometimes they look blue, sometimes they look purple, sometimes they look green. I can't tell. That means that you are neutral. Okay, I don't know. That'll help you. You can go with the jewelry thing if it works for you. For me, it didn't work. Okay, so once you have your foundation set, I'm happy with the coverage. We're good to go. So there are, next steps would be contour, highlight, blush, bronze, eyebrows, whatever. And so you can set this right now if you want to do all this and you want like a more matte finish. I would say to set all of this and then do everything else powder. So you would want to do your a cool toned contour with the powder. You want your blush with the powder. You want your highlight with the powder, and then you can do your eyebrows or whatever. I like a more in the middle finish, so what I like to do is I will do everything cream. So I have a cream contour, I have a cream blush. I don't do cream highlighter just because I'll show you a little cool trick. And then I'll set everything lightly with the powder. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty Amber Contour Stick. really quick, and I'm gonna do this off camera, and then I'll come back and blend it, and then I'll show you. So I'm gonna do contour cream, or cream contour, cream blush, and then I'll come back to set it with you. So yeah, give me one sec. Okay, so I went ahead and I did my cream contour and I did my cream blush, and I set it with some setting powder. I just wanted to briefly talk about contouring. I made a video about it by itself. If you guys need more details, let me know and I'll make like a more in-depth video about it. But basically it's just about your face shape. The beauty industry's perfect standard of a perfect face would be the long oval shape. So that is what everybody is trying to contour to get to generally. But if you know you have certain things that you might not like about your face, or that you do like about your face that you want to enhance or erase, that's what contouring and highlighting is for. For the things that you do not want, you're going to want to erase with your contour